Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Cores and Casey Claxon.
Welcome to Talkin' Football from WTNS, brought to you by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most. Casey Claxon back again with Coos, Steve Cores. Hard to believe, but week 5 of the high school football season is here.
Halfway through. It's hard. You're absolutely right. It's hard to believe, but here we are.
Yeah, and we've got great weather today. At the time of this recording, hopefully we have good weather on Friday night. Coos, before we recap last week's games, big news with this week. Riverview forced to cancel a football game that they had scheduled for Friday night.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation, but, you know, it is what it is. You got people hurt. You can't field a team, and you know, it's unfortunate, but you got to make sure you protect the kids.
We were planning on having that game on Friday night out at Don Rushing Stadium, but we will pivot to the Ridgewood Strasburg game. You had Ridgewood's game last week, so give us a recap of Friday night's action.
Well, you know, Ridgewood started a little slow, but, you know, they managed to take care of business. That was 14-0 at the half. Some second-half touchdowns. They pulled away, and, you know, they get a 35-0 win. You know, that defense has just been outstanding this year. They have yet to be scored on, and you know, the offensively with Grant Lammers at quarterback, and they do a nice job with Aiden Sparger running the football, and they throw it around a little bit. So an impressive night for the Generals, and they'll look forward to continuing that this weekend, I'm sure.
So let's go ahead and look at this Friday night's games. Let's start with the Coshocton Redskins. They will be on the road. Still looking for that first win.
Still looking for the first win. They're going to Maysville, team that's 1-3. They haven't won a league game as well. So this is a game Coshocton can win. They can go down there, and if they can get off the field on third down, that's been the big issue for them defensively. They've not been able to get off the field. The offense is starting to pick things up. I look for them maybe come out of there with a win on Friday night.
And our featured game coming up on Friday, we'll be back at Ridgewood's General Stadium as the Generals will host Strasburg. We'll preview that game and have more on Talkin' Football, plus our question for Coos. That is coming up as well. That's next, right after this message from Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
This is Coshocton County. This is our home. And these are the people we are proud to care for. From sniffles to surgeries, from bumps and bruises to broken bones, excellent care is closer than you think. At Coshocton Regional Medical Center, we are proud to provide a comprehensive approach to healing for our community, because we believe that home is where care matters most.
Friday night at General Stadium, it'll be the Tigers of Strasburg coming in to take on Ridgewood. Coos, give us a preview of the Ridgewood matchup in Week 5.
I really think it's going to be a little bit of what we've seen out of Ridgewood in the first 4. Strasburg has come in with a record of 2-2 on the season, but really haven't played the competition that Ridgewood has played. Ridgewood really on a roll, strong inside and out, and I look for the Generals to roll.
So the Ridgewood Generals will kick off at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game on FM 99.3 WTNS. And, of course, we'll live stream the game on the WTNS website and YouTube channel. Our coverage to start at 6:35 on Friday with Coos and Chris Wallace. All right, it's time for this week's question for Coos. Coos, I'm going to take you back several years and ask you a question. I did preview this, so he had a little bit of time to think about it. But I heard this story, and I want you to tell it again. But I would like to know how you first got into broadcasting with WTNS. Tom Thompson told me this story many years ago, and I want to hear your version of Tom Thompson asking you about broadcasting.
Well, you know, it's probably going to be 2 different versions, but the true version is going to come from me.
Okay, all right.
All right, at the time, I'd been out of the military, and I was working in Carol's Men's Shop.
Yeah.
Tom needed a person to help at a basketball game at Tusky Valley, so I said, as long as I don't have to talk, I'll go up and do the stats for you.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Got to halftime. I handed him the sheet of paper. He read the stats. We sat there for a moment. He turned to me and said, Coos, what did you think of the first half? I looked at him. I had nothing to say, and that's kind of how it all started.
Okay, well, that's pretty close to how Tom told that story to me several years ago. He said, like, he had been bugging you for quite some time. He'd been asking you, was like, oh, Coos, you got to come do a game, and you had kept saying no and saying no, and then he just turned to you and said, Coos, what did you think?
That was a day or two ago. That was in 1976, so you can imagine how long that's been.
Oh, well, that's a great story. I'm sure those that know Tom could see him doing that to you, pulling a fast one on you.
He did definitely do that.
All right, so that's our question and answer from Coos this week. So, Coos, thanks for sharing that with us. Great memories of Mr. Tom Thompson. I'm Casey Claxon. Talking football brought to you each and every week by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most.
Talking Football is a production of WTNS Sports and Claxon Communications.